But I still, obviously, glad it's still there.
When you have been unbeaten for so long, does it become, in a way, a bit of an albatross at stage, which means it's a bit of a burden because you think, we've got to make sure we don't lose, got to make sure we don't lose?
No, it only becomes a burden as you lose in that particular game. You kind of go, yeah, we'll get rid of it now. I think when you're actually in a run like that, you feel invincible and you feel as if every game you're going to win. There's always in the back of your mind, we've got to be on our game in order to keep that run going. So I don't think it's a problem while you're in it. It's just as you start to feel... I'm sure the Liverpool players halfway through that game, or when the third goal went in, said to themselves, right, at least we have, we can start again now. We can start again. But when you're actually in it, you want to...
I mean, that is remarkable. To win 18 in a row is extraordinary.
It is. The question I've got for you, Lee, is... Was your team better than the Invincibles? I'm just throwing it out there.
Did you just throw that out
there? Just saying that. Was your team better than the Invincibles? That's what the punters want to know at home.
I didn't play in that team. It's a brilliant team. I watched it, throughout that season, and I wanted them to go undefeated because they deserved to. But I honestly think the best team I played in was the '98 team, and I think if we played the Invincibles 10 times and there was no draws, I think we'd beat the Invincibles 6-4. I think.
Agreed.
I actually think his team was the best Arsenal team I've seen.
Oh, that's enough on Lee now.
He's very old.
I'm very, very old. I'm very old.
Right, let's get back to the game.
Watford, fantastic. The way that they played, the way that they set up, what a
they're outstanding in everything. You could tick all the boxes. Energy, physicality, the way they played a bit of football, they went long. They just made Liverpool feel very uncomfortable. And the two up top, Deeney and Sarr, brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, Sarr, in the second half especially, he just went to a new level. He ran at the... There was an obvious malaise about the Liverpool defence and the midfield. It was all about just being off the pace, but they took advantage of it. Little things like this. Van Dijk on his heels, appealing for something, not like him. Alexander-Arnold, that was probably the worst game I've seen him from a reading the game point of view, etc. And this is it, he's appealing, the ball's going out, or is he appealing, Robertson, don't get tight, but he's on his heels. And Sarr, when he's on that form, he looks like he could score against any team, and this is an absolute brilliant
just shows you don't have to be on
like you,
you.
I never ran that fast in my life.
And you pointed something else here about Alexander-Arnold, how he doesn't recover with his normal intensity, Lee.
Yeah, I mean, he nearly gets to Troy Deeney, but he gives the ball away, and normally you would see that little snap, and this should have been a hat-trick for Sarr, and he got took off just after that with a huge amount of applause from the fan. He was brilliant, and he looked at Liverpool. Liverpool played quite a high line. Their pressure on the ball from midfield wasn't their normal intensity. I think Jordan Henderson was a miss. He gives them that little bit extra. And I think because of that, they got balls in behind Liverpool. And Liverpool were just off. Every single player will look at that result and go, I was off today. And when the team you're playing against is so on, there was an upset. You could sense it in the air. As soon as the game started, you think, Deulofeu took Alexander-Arnold in the first 20 minutes to the cleaners. He ran at him and he kind of was backing off all the time. Unfortunately, he got injured and it looks like a bad one, but he really took the game. He was the catalyst for the way Watford played.
I think for the first time this season, we've seen Liverpool all over the place. And it wasn't just one or two players, it was everybody in a red shirt. Their defending was all over the place. Let's have a look at a bit of the defending. And Lee will take it to bits, I know he will, because it's so much that's wrong.
Well, just even that, Robertson wrong side of Sarr, and it kind of in the end, Deulofeu running at Trent Alexander-Arnold should show him down the line because he wants to come in on his right foot. Little things like this, balls given away in midfield, and then because they were a high line, look at the space behind. Van Dijk had dropped off. Different. Him and Lovren looked like they'd never played together. Literally.
Had this been coming a little bit, Lee, because they were very lucky to beat West Ham, and obviously they lost to Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. Has this been coming a little bit, this result?
Well, I think you're going to get dips in form, listen, they won 106 points out of 108 or whatever it was. They have been so on it, and this league is so hard to put a run together because there's teams that can beat you like this. The fact that they haven't lost until this point is sensational. So it's a little blip, and sometimes it's coming. Dion will tell you can afford 3 or 4 players below par. As soon as it gets to 11, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And they were all off Really was.
Shall we hear from a Watford player?
Yes, yes, please.
Abdoulaye
yes, please.
Doucouré, fantastic performance from him and from Watford. Thank you for joining us. Just talk us through what Nigel Pearson said to you before the game in the way that you were going to approach playing Liverpool.
Yes, good morning. Yes, Nigel, before the game, you can beat them. Like I said in the previous, never talk about concede less goal or something. Talking about winning the game because you need points, you need 3 points. Even if you were full, you need to win big game sometime, So Nigel has a very, very good approach before the game.
And the amount of confidence that this will give you going forward, you've beaten the team who are going to win the league. How much confidence must that give you for the remainder of the season?
Yes, of course. Like everyone, we show us more respect now because we beat Liverpool. The team was unbeaten this year. And of course, for us, it's massive. It's a huge win because you need 3 points. And of course, against Liverpool, it gives us a lot of confidence because, we beat the best team in the league. So for us, it will be massive. I think the next game, we can show the same desire to win games.
What's the manager done since he's come into the football club? What's he changed? Because you seem like a changed team.
Yeah, I think his approach is all the players feel more confident with him because Nigel is very close to the players. He speaks a lot. He's very caring as well of the players. So everyone love it. And of course in the game, he just come back to the basic. He say, guys, you need to work hard. You need to work for each other. It's more about mentality about football. Because we all know how to play football, but I think our mentality was a little bit down before he came.
Okay. Abdoulaye, you're playing in a slightly more advanced role than perhaps we've seen in the past. How are you enjoying that little freedom? I saw you against Brighton. You seem to relish it.
Yeah. This role, he suits me a lot. I think I play a lot of great games so far, so I'm very happy with this new role. Of course, I have to help more the team. I need to score goals. I need to give assists. So I'm happy so far with my performance, and I hope my performance will keep going and growing.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Abdoulaye. We really appreciate your time. Thank you. I love his little laugh there. He enjoyed that question. Yes, I like getting forward a little bit more, isn't it? But I mean, he's been tremendous in that sort of... It's not quite a number 10 role, is it?
No, he kind of starts off there and then he drifts back into midfield. But as soon as he gets it, his first thought is turning and running at a back four. And what that does to a back four, as Dion will tell you, is if you've got no pressure, because he gets in that head of the midfield, you have to drop off. So they end up running back to their goal, and he loves to, we've seen him do it time and time again in that position. And he also brings the whole Watford team up the pitch with him. So it's been really effective.
Let's have a look at Watford's next 10 matches. We're getting to that stage now where, there we are. Those are the remainder of the fixtures. There they all are. So they go to Crystal Palace next. And they're home to Leicester. I always look to the home games, don't you, Dion? When you're down the bottom, look to the home games. What can they do? Leicester at home.
Yeah,
Southampton home. Norwich, Newcastle, Man City. That's a good run of home games.
It is.
You
know what? At this present, right where they are now, every game for them is a good game because they're now kind of got their mojo back at the weekend, and they surprised a lot of people. In that form, Watford won't care who they're playing. They really won't, because they beat Liverpool. Yeah. They beat the best in the country, so it won't bother them at all, home or away.
Their form when Nigel took over was sensational. And then they had that little drop-off. And I think what he's done, and certainly a game like that at the weekend, that you all of a sudden, all the little doubts in your mind that when you're in a dressing room, we could hear by Abdoulaye's voice. He's up. He's got a day off today, so he's probably enjoying his little day off. Yeah. But he's up. He's upbeat. He'll go in tomorrow. The training from Monday to Friday is totally different when you're coming off a win. And if you're coming off a win against the champions-elect, that can do everything. So it validates everything you're doing in training. So almost Nigel comes into training, he hasn't got to do anything, as opposed to, how are we going to get out of this rut? All of a sudden, he just goes, 5-a-side, get on with it.
That's very true.
You know what I mean?
You know what to do. Yeah. Let's have a look at possible red card on Troy Deeney, Chris.
Yeah, an interesting... Lee and I were chatting before, and Troy Deeney have it ringing in his ears, stop the cross. And he flies in. There doesn't look a lot in that when you look at it from that angle. But I think from this angle, you'll see it's a reckless challenge, that. Michael Oliver, the referee, played advantage. I think he was fortunate. I don't think he got a card.
He catches him, doesn't he? He catches him.
I think it's a yellow card. I don't think it's red, but you can just see you were talking about, you know, the intensity of Watford. Stopped the cross and he's flown in. He's fractionally late. It's a yellow card.
Yeah. It looks worse on slow-mo, super slow when you stop it. He's running so fast and he's probably one of the best crossers of the ball. So he'll tell you, he's done me loads of times.
That's a slander.
That little late one, the little late one trying to stop the cross, the forwards love it. And so Troy Deeney, I'm not saying he knew what he was doing, he's trying to hurt him. He's trying to go in as hard as he can within the rules of the game, within the laws of the game, and he's just got it wrong. But if he doesn't go and put his foot in there, his manager's going, stop the cross.
Because, of course, they're so good at crosses. So much of their threat comes from. And at the end, he went, sorry about that.
Yes, of course.
Just like you did to Luke.
Yeah, I did.
Sorry about that. Right, let's go to North London, where Tottenham welcomed a Wolves side 1 point and 2 places behind them in the league, calling this